you want to correct the email server?
No, I mix up private emails with private servers. I don't really know the difference.
Right.
But that's what I said. I said that his people had private servers. They have private emails. I don't know. Isn't it the same thing? I don't know the difference, and I don't care.
Yeah. So we also keep hearing about terrorists hating our American values. Maybe we had this conversation yesterday. Yeah. This was a point about.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you now. We have a leader who has repeatedly demeaned women,
right,
wants to defund organizations that benefit women, calling on the media to shut up, specifically wants to give preferential treatment based on religion. Are these values really much different than the Taliban's?
I mean, well, you're talking about Trump's values.
Well, no, the values that we are listening to, because one of the things you read yesterday was a piece of the language in the ban,
yeah,
which was about if you disrespect women, if you disrespect
gay people,
yes.
And
so yesterday I was thinking about this.
They're doing the same thing.
Thought all of these things that I've been hearing. Have our values changed? What's happened? Are we still fighting?
Well, I think there's a difference between Donald Trump and America, because when I think of our values, I think of the values outlined in the Constitution, and whether or not my president at the time is a reflection of that. Doesn't necessarily mean that the values of the country or the people have changed.
Well,
but I would definitely think there's a difference between the Taliban, who is beheading people, chopping off heads, and an American president who may have policies that you disagree with, or may be saying things that you disagree with.
If he says, I don't like what you did, you're fired, is that,
that's
when
different
you
from chopping off people's heads.
Well, it is, but I feel like, listen, if you're saying to the media, shut up, that's what they do. Maybe they didn't start out chopping people's heads off. Maybe they started out differently. I'm asking this because it feels like it's tricky, because we're saying to people, here are our American values, and then we're saying at the same token, stuff that sounds exactly like the stuff we're fighting. And so that's why I posed
you're saying that those are Trump's values.
Well, I'm saying there's a difference between Trump and America, and the constitutional values as presented by Whoopi in the lead.
But my question then is are Trump's values different from the Republican Party's values? Because I don't see them objecting to any of this.
Well, you do.
I don't see them standing
up to anything. Well, no, that's not true. Whoopi cited yesterday a whole bunch of Republicans, Lindsey Graham, John McCain, a list a mile long, objecting to that particular executive order.
It's not a mile long.
Republicans that have objected to the executive order.
I don't understand, Jet. You're saying...
Well, no,
they're letting everything go by.
But Jet, I don't understand. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. You're saying that Trump's values are not in line with American values?
I'm saying that the values, what Whoopi presented in the lead, was she talked about those values. I don't think that Trump making comments that are horrific about women is representative of the way the United States at large feels about women.
A lot of people voted for him based on he was going to make America great again.
But no, I don't think they voted for that once again.
What did they vote for?
And they voted for health insurance plans, and they voted for wanting to keep more of their hard-earned cash. I don't think they voted for what he said about
grab a woman by the genitals, stop the press from talking. I think there's worth a low towel.
Yes, it is.
I disregarded it.
I've seen a lot with Van Jones' work on the messy truth, and he does a really good job. I have actually been enlightened to so many of these people I guess I wasn't hearing before. So I definitely don't think they were voting for him because he grabbed him by the lady parts. I think
they didn't care, apparently.
They disregarded it, and that's even worse.
But I think the fact that we're sitting here and saying that is still missing what some of Van's work was, which is there are other things. Everybody has different things. Whether you can treat women right or put food on the table for your family, some of these people think that their vote is going to help them provide food for their child.
I understand
that. I think we're oversimplifying.
But you know what? The Trump voters said, and this was famous, it went all around, we didn't take him literally, we took him seriously. Well, now you can take him literally, because every single thing he said has literally come true, okay?
But there are a lot
of fact. He meant everything he said.
But you disagree with the policy, and that's okay, but there are a lot of people in the country that look at what he's doing and are applauding it and are saying, we like this executive order, we like that you're setting up more
That brings me back to this question. It brings me back to the question. So the question is, when you put some of these things side by side, what kind of religion you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have one religion. Okay, so
people don't see it as that, though. They don't accept that premise.
American values.
This is when he said says that there's a preferential treatment for Christians for getting all the other religions out there.
You mean for the refugee program? Is that what you're
I'm talking about anytime.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, because in that country, in Syria, Christians are the minority religion.
But he's not just banning Syrians. He's not just banning. You know, here's the thing: we have a constitution that says these are the things we don't do. This is what makes us different from everybody else. Our media, nobody tells our media to shut up and just take
that's
it.
Outrageous.
That's not America. That is the Taliban. That's how they do.
That's
the
not
Taliban.
an American value.
No, but
that's not
my question
that's
is,
Steve Bannon's value.
Right, but that's not an American value.
Who's the new puppeteer?
But what's happening? What's happening? What do you see happening?
Say the noise we're seeing in the protests and the people that are coming out and marching, the President Obamas who are speaking up, it's showing that there is a value system that remains and is alive and well. So even if it's not presently maybe being reflected in some of the laws coming down, we're loud. Like, there's a lot of people.
He's supposed to be the president of the United States of America. He's supposed to reflect the very American values that so many of us have. When you're talking about America, this used to be the bastion of peace. This used to be the place where you could go when you were tired and you were weak and you were persecuted. And you can't do it anymore.
That's right.
How is that an American value?
And it is an interesting conversation, and that's what we do here at The View. We will be right back.